Bem-vindos, uma vez mais, aqui ao claustro sul do Palácio Nacional de Mafra, onde acabámos de ouvir mais um concerto do Festival Internacional de Carrilhão. Foi o segundo, o primeiro foi com Ana Maria Rabarte, e hoje temos duas convidadas muito especiais, não são portuguesas, são polacas, e vieram até aqui a Mafra visitar-nos e tocar um bocadinho para nós. Podemos ouvir em mais um domingo, aliás, vai ser assim até o dia 28 de agosto, e nós aqui marcaremos presença para entrevistar todos aqueles que por aqui passarão. A entrevista vai ter que ser em inglês e vamos desdobrar-nos entre o português e o inglês. Vou tentar aqui fazer com que todos nos entendamos. Welcome.
Welcome.
Bem-vindos. Mónica, Katarzyna. Não, Mónica, Katarzyna.
Yeah.
São elas que as duas convidadas de hoje, a Mónica, carrilhanista, Katarzyna, compositora, composer, Katarzyna, Mónica, carillonist. Mónica, fiquei muito surpreendido porque ganhou o maior prémio cultural da sociedade, Gdańsk, que se chama Splendor Genandesis. Como é que te sentiste naquele momento?
Well, I was surprised too.
Yes.
Very surprised because that's really a very noble prize. Well, that means for me that the carillon is seen in our city, that it's seen as a cultural part, and that's very important. It's not only for me, but it's for the carillon culture in Gdańsk. So I'm very, very happy, but not only for me, but also for the carillon culture.
There are 3 carillons in your city.
Yeah, there are 3 carillons in my city, and we have a very long tradition of the 16th century.
Yes.
We already had a carillon in 1561, and second one in 1738, and the third one came, during the war, World War II. Now we have new carillons, of course, but the tradition is very long, and I'm very happy to be part of it.
Ok. No que toca à música, porquê escolher ser carrilhonista?
Well, I love the sound of carillon.
Okay.
When I started to study it for the first time, I didn't know too much about that. I just found out about the technique, and I thought, well, that's not something for me. But then we had lessons with a Dutch guy, Gert Oldenburgh, and he took us to the tower, and he started to play Bach. And that was so beautiful. That was the Hohe Messe of the Agnus Dei part, and it was so beautiful that I immediately fell in love. And that was 20 years ago, and I'm still in love, I must say.
Com quem é que aprendeu a tocar carrilhão?
Well, I had several teachers. So our first teacher was a Dutchman, Gert Oldenburgh, who used to come to Gdańsk he was a consultant of our new carillons because our old carillons didn't survive the war because Gdańsk was heavily damaged in 1945 and the carillons didn't survive. So after war in the 90s, they started to gather money for new carillons. So then we got a carillon, but we had no carillonneur, of course.
Yes.
So there was a Dutch Dutch teacher coming once for a while and teaching new carillonneurs. So then I went to study in the Netherlands Carillon School.
Okay.
So I studied with Arie Abenes and Bernard Winsemius, and I must say that I'm still coming once for a while to meet Bernard Winsemius. He's a specialist of early music, so I'm coming once for a while to have some lessons with him. And then I had lessons also with a Belgian Geert Hollander, who is now American, I guess.
A lot of teachers, right?
Yeah,
Muitos professores, perguntei eu. Eu vou perguntar agora à Mónica também onde é que ela toca. Where do you play? Gdańsk, okay? It's correct?
Yeah, Gdańsk.
Gdańsk.
Yeah, I'm a city carillonist, carillonneur.
In Poland, na Polónia?
Yeah, in Gdańsk in Poland, and Gdańsk is the only city in Poland to have active carillons.
Ok, thank you. Mónica, existem 2 lugares importantes, Mafra e Gdańsk. Quais é que são as principais diferenças entre os dois? O tempo, o som, as pessoas?
Well, these places are very, very different.
Okay.
Of course, Gdańsk is a big city of almost 500,000 people. So Mafra is a little bit smaller, I guess.
Yes, it's a little bit small. Is a huge difference between us.
The weather actually, it's cooler here than it was in Gdańsk when we left. So we were surprised to find Portugal nowadays is cooler than Poland. You would think the other way around, but that's not the case anymore, I think. No, but.
E a tradição é diferente. The tradition is different because the music there is different of the music here. A música lá é diferente da música cá. E agora há aqui uma pessoa diferente. And a different person, Katarzyna, is correct?
Katarzyna, yes.
Katarzyna is composer,
Yes.
compositora. Hoje foi a estreia mundial de uma peça muito especial para a Katarzyna e também para a Mónica, chamada Obrigada, aqui em Mafra. Fale-me sobre ela.
You know, this piece is connected with Portugal and my dream to come to Portugal because it's my first time to be here. And,
Your first time?
Yes, it's my first time in Portugal. I've never been here before. But I love traveling. I love seeing new countries and meeting new people. So when I heard from Monica, there is a chance to come here and to have a piece performed here, I thought I'm very thankful for it.
Ah.
And you know, thank you in your language is
Thank you.
obrigada for a woman, obrigado for a man. So I thought I will use this word to compose a piece. And I used the letters of this word like ob, b, ri, de, gi, g,
Yes.
and so on. Yeah, and so I took the letters to find some motifs for my piece, and I composed this piece based on this Portuguese word, obrigada.
Peço que me fale da peça Há de Fontes, que fechou o concerto de hoje, penso eu, se quiser.
Yes, this piece is very special. It was composed last year during the pandemic, during the hardest lockdown in Poland. It was a difficult time, and for me, when a difficult time comes, I read the Bible. So I was reading the Bible and I found Psalm 42. And I thought, oh, this is a good text because it gives you hope. And there is this expression ad fontes. It is Latin and it means to the source, like back to the source. So I thought a pandemic, maybe it is a chance for us as people to come back to our sources. So I used it as a title and I wrote it for Monica for the old carillon in Gdańsk in the town hall, which comes from the 16th century. And this is why I also used a melody from the 16th century composed by Jakub Lubelczyk.
Oh,
So this piece is based on this old melody from Renaissance time.
ok. Mónica, qual é que é a diferença entre um carrilhão móvel e um carrilhão fixo, como este aqui em Mafra?
Well, first of all, the mobile carillon is very close to the people. So people can see you, but they can hear you very well. Too well, I think. That's a little bit too close. But it also gives you opportunity of a good contact with people, and you can play with other instruments very easily. While the tower instrument, well, it's up in the tower, so you are kind of lonely. You are far from people, but that's I think I like it much more than the mobile
The
carillon.
contact of people is different.
Yeah. But I prefer the tower carillon because the bells need some distance to be listened to.
Okay.
And in a mobile carillon, people will have the tendency to come very close to you, and that's too close for a bell to listen to. So actually, but really, with mobile carillon, you can play easily with different instruments, and that's very nice of it too. But you can play on the tower with other instruments too. It needs a little bit more maybe time consuming, but it's also very possible and very, very nice.
Mónica, como é que correu o concerto no domingo? Correu tudo bem?
Yeah, in my program I tried to, well, no, I didn't try, but
Yes.
I played music that is connected with Gdańsk and Poland. Because in Gdańsk, that was a very rich city in the past, and we had a lot of very good musicians. So that's why I played some pieces of Paul Ziffert, who is a student of Svelling himself, of Goldberg, who was a student of Bach, and Bach dedicated him the very famous Goldberg variations that I played today also. And Goldberg was also the first player of these variations because he was extremely good harpsichord player from Gdańsk. I also played Morheim, and who was a student of Bach. So we had a lot of connections with Bach. Bach also applied for a job in Gdańsk, and he was rejected, ignored, that's a better word, but he wanted to work in Gdańsk in St. Mary's Church. So it was really an important cultural place. Also, of course, played pieces written for Gdańsk, like Kasia's pieces.
Okay.
She's not from Gdańsk, but she wrote them for Gdańsk, and Kasia's piece, and also Paweł Mykieten, a new, very hot composer name now in Poland. He wrote a piece, Stop, very, very special.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Katarzyna composed only 2 pieces for you
No,
on Sunday?
she composed much more pieces, but I had to choose something, you know. Otherwise, I would play the whole concert of Katarzyna's pieces. That would be great, of course, but I wanted to show some other pieces as well.
Is good to compose for Monica?
Is it what?
Is good compose for
Good.
Monica?
Yes, of course. It is very good because Monica is a very good performer. She knows the instrument also very well, so that if I have any questions, there is no problem to ask and learn about the instrument. And also she's eager to play new music, which is great because I can compose and I know it will be played.
And Katarzyna is a good composer?
Yes. And actually, she doesn't have to ask me how about how things should be played, because she knows it quite well. I really, when she writes a new piece, there is nothing to correct. It's just ready to be performed. So she really feels the instrument very well. I'm very happy that we have such a nice cooperation.
Yes.
Eu ia pedir agora, para finalizarmos a nossa conversa, à Katarzyna e à Mónica para convidarem as nossas pessoas, a todos os nossos telespectadores aqui em Portugal, para verem, ouvirem o concerto de Carrilhão em polaco, por favor.
Szanowni Państwo, serdecznie zapraszamy do tego, aby śledzić i oglądać koncerty karylionowe w ramach Międzynarodowego Festiwalu Karylionowego w Mawrze. Zapraszamy.
Yes, it's easy. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Good return for home, and nice to meet you here in Portugal. Okay.
Yeah, we
Thank
were
you
very
very
happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
It had
much. It's a good interview.
Beautiful tower, beautiful city,
And beautiful country.
castle. Yeah,
It's a
everything.
great pleasure to be here.
Yeah, really.
Thank
We
you
loved it.
so much.
Thank you very
E obrigado
much.
a si também, que nos acompanhou nesta entrevista. Na semana passada tivemos uma, esta semana outra, na próxima semana teremos também outra, e já sabe que os concertos podem ser assistidos online, mas também aqui presencialmente. Portanto, informe-se, veja quem vem tocar aqui da próxima vez e venha ouvir-nos presencialmente. Foi um gosto tê-lo consigo, tê-lo assim, comigo, aqui, connosco. Obrigado e até à próxima.